Welcome. I'm Harmony Slater, your host of the Finding Harmony podcast. Over the past 20 years, I've taught thousands of yoga teachers and students to explore the intersection between ancient wisdom and modern everyday life, using mind-body practices to heal, awaken, and manifest their dreams from the inside out. This podcast is a sanctuary for those feeling overwhelmed by life's challenges. Are you ready to jump in and discover how these challenges aren't actually in the way, but are the way to finding harmony? Let's invite the magic back in. Hello, beautiful souls, and welcome back to the Finding Harmony podcast. Today, I plan to do something a little bit different and a little bit magical because this is Black Friday weekend. And so rather than talking about spending money, I wanted to talk about circulating money because that's what money really is. It's energy. It's a currency. It needs to flow and be exchanged. And so when we infuse this flow with a sense of grace, generosity, and gratitude, then abundance begins to expand and naturally come back to us in ways that are often quite surprising. So this time of year, as we're approaching the holidays, year's end, and thinking maybe about new intentions that you want to set for the new year, I know it can really start to bring up a lot. There's maybe some scarcity stories that start to come up around financial stress, Christmas, self-judgment, maybe ideas looking back on this past year about where you should be versus where you actually are right now. And all of this can bring up a sense of anxiety and a sense of pressure. But it can also be the perfect time of year to really start to reset your energetic relationship with the frequency of receiving so that you can start this next chapter, this next year, feeling more magnetic, more prosperous, and ultimately more free. So, I want to tell you about a great opportunity before we jump into today's episode, which is my 21-day Money, Magic, and Manifestation Challenge. I am putting it on sale for the next 3 days. You need to use the code MONEYMAGIC60. Okay, Money Magic, one word with a 6 and a 0 following. And inside, you're going to get 21 days of daily messages, journal prompts, and all kinds of beautiful exercises, a workbook that are going to guide you to uncovering some of those subconscious blocks that you may have around money. This 21 days will completely rewire your frequency for abundance, and it will align your energy with wealth in every aspect of your life. So today, I want to share with you 3 key insights from this challenge, some of the lessons that can transform how you relate to money, how you relate to your energy, and also generosity. Because how you are with yourself in these areas of your life transforms what starts to show up for you. And we can start to transform it right now. So take a deep breath. Maybe even take a moment, pause, place your hand on your heart, and let's begin. So the first insight I want to share with you is that gratitude, that frequency, that intention, that reminder of all of the abundance that we already have in our lives and the feeling of being grateful for everything that we have easily starts to transform that feeling of scarcity or that feeling of just surviving into thriving or into receiving. Maybe you've heard in past episodes, I've talked often about growing up in a family where money was very scarce. My mother really struggled. So did my father. They both worked not high-paying jobs. They were labor jobs. And my mother worked part-time so that she could stay home with us some of the time, but she would often take extra shifts. And there was a lot of fear and anxiety, there still is today, with my mother specifically around money, spending money. She's very generous, but she also has a lot of anxiety around that. And so as a child, especially a young child, growing up in the household, there was fights around money. There was a feeling of we don't have enough. There was literally days when we didn't have enough. We didn't have enough money to buy groceries. There was a lot of stress. And so as a young child, before language, before you have the cognitive ability or the rational understanding of what's going on, for me, in my nervous system, I just related money to stress, to pain, to anxiety or sadness or fighting. And maybe you, like me, have this deep embedded feeling of never having enough, of everything being very scarce. And that's a really difficult energetic imprint to shift because it goes all the way back to when you were a child, when you were a baby even. And one of the best and easiest ways to shift that is by slowing down, especially during those times that you're feeling really stressed or really anxious about income or about bills or about things that are demanding resources from you, and start to just notice all of the abundance around you. You could start with the abundance of space. You could start with the abundance of little things that you might have, like trinkets or knickknacks, or maybe there's an abundance of food in your refrigerator. And just really start to drop in to a sense of gratitude about everything that's already here, that's already present for you. And neuroscience has actually proven that when we drop into that sense of gratitude and really start to focus on the gratitude of what we already have, of what's already here, it literally starts to shift your brain chemistry from that feeling of fear or anxiety into one that's more open and receptive. So your brain starts to release chemicals like dopamine and serotonin, those feel-good neurotransmitters that start to let you feel into a sense of safety. It literally starts to create safety in your mind and in your body. And that safety starts to expand your capacity to receive, to remember that you're not in a life or death situation in this present moment. And so gratitude brings with it this energetic truth that it's not just saying thank you, which, sometimes we associate gratitude with just sort of saying thank you, but really recognizing the sacredness of the abundance of what's already here. And sometimes this is even just going out into nature and taking a walk and just being grateful for the air, the earth, the ground, the trees, the birds, right? There's so much that's already here for us. And pausing, slowing down enough to cultivate that sense of safety and deep gratitude and a sense of relationship with the sacredness of what's already around us. So, here's a little practice for you to start right now. As you're listening to this episode, maybe just pause. You can literally pause the episode, or you could just take a few minutes, a few moments as I'm talking to think of what are 3 simple things that your income or that the money or wealth in your life has allowed you to bring into your experience today. And maybe it's a cup of tea that you're drinking or a cup of coffee. Maybe it's the heating, the warmth of your home. Maybe it's the ability to listen to this podcast episode on your cell phone or a device that's broadcasting it. So have those three things come up into your awareness and then just really feel and drop into that sense of gratitude and say thank you. You can just even whisper, thank you for each one. And feel that vibration, that frequency move through your whole body. This is how we start to magnetize more. This starts to change that imprint, that energetic frequency of, I don't have enough, I need more, I'm not safe, I don't know if I'm going to survive, why does everyone want something from me? And shift it into a softer, more open way of coming home and saying, I'm good, I have enough, more will be provided as I need it. I'm open to receiving more good in my life. So if you have been waiting or struggling, if this feels like something that would be helpful for you to reset your frequency around money, around wealth, I really want to encourage you to get into this money magic and manifestation challenge. It is so powerful and really starts to shift you from this vibration of scarcity, from this deep subconscious energetic imprint that's actually in our cells and tissues and body, to one of expansion, one of sufficiency, one of enoughness on all different levels. The second insight that I want to share with you is it's all energy, energy before strategy. And so this is so powerful because so many of us try to change our financial situation by working harder, by doing more, or by cutting back. We're either budgeting or hustling. We're either trying to create more strategies around where we're spending our money or how we're saving our money. And again, the energetic imprint underneath all of that still is vibrating at a sense of fear or lack. And those results don't really stick. It's kind of like when we go on a diet and we say, I'm going to lose weight by cutting back on all these foods that I love. We can do it for a while, but it doesn't really last because it's not so much about changing the actions or the behaviors from the outside. It's really about changing your identity, who you are, who you believe yourself to be, who you identify yourself as from the inside. And so I've coached so many clients. These are healers, these are yoga teachers, these are entrepreneurs, spiritual individuals and beings who really believe that they have a strategy problem. They want the how to create the business that is more aligned, more abundant, more filled with ease. But actually, at the heart of it, it's an energetic mismatch. And so when you start to learn to take aligned action from that deep inner frequency of worthiness and self-trust, trust in yourself, trust in the universe or God or the world around you, trust in others, trust in what you have to offer, doors open so much faster than you could have ever planned for. And this is also what we explore deeply in the 21-day Money Magic and Manifestation Challenge, which is your particular energetic blueprint for abundance. So how has your nervous system been programmed to feel around abundance, around worthiness, around welcoming in more? Is your nervous system safe to expand? Or does expansion feel scary and dangerous? And if your body associates more money with more responsibility or more stress or more problems or the potential for more loss or more disappointment, then your subconscious will continue to unconsciously repel more coming to you because it doesn't feel safe. So when you start to dig into those subconscious patterns and the unconscious programs that are running the show from beneath the surface, then even when your conscious mind is saying, I want more, you will start to allow in more rather than repel it because you're starting to reprogram what's happening underneath the surface. So you're starting to allow yourself to recognize that expansion is safe, that receiving more is safe. It's not going to bring the unwanted things that subconsciously you're not really associating or recognizing on the surface. Once you start to see it, you can start to change it. So here's another little exercise for you. Didn't know you were going to be doing so many exercises this episode, did you? Just place your hand on your heart and one hand on your belly. So you're literally giving yourself a little bit of a hug, just really tuning in to that central channel, into the center of your being, both in the belly and in the heart. And just taking a deep breath in, just notice. You can ask yourself, do I feel safe? Does my body feel safe to receive more? Just notice what sensations arise. Maybe there's warmth and a sense of expansion. Maybe there's a tightness or a sense of pulling back or resistance. And just notice without judgment. You can even do a little thought experiment. If someone were to come up to you right now, maybe a client or a student or another business who wants to hire you and say to you, here's $100,000. I need you to show up and provide me with your services. How does that feel in your body to imagine that happening? What sensations do you feel? Does it feel like your throat tightens? Does your stomach do a flip-flop? So just starting to notice how somatically your body responds to even the visualization of more wealth coming to you. This awareness gives you clues and is the beginning of making changes at a very deep level, at a nervous system level or a somatic level. And your body is the gateway to your unconscious, to your subconscious mind. And so it's tuning in to how the body reacts at a very subtle level, those very, very subtle feelings of either moving towards or away from something is powerful in changing how you're showing up in the world. And so one of the daily messages inside of this 21-day challenge really starts to guide you through this nervous system calibration. We use breath work, we use some mantra, some chanting, we use daily affirmations, there's even visualizations to help you get into a place where you're shifting the state within yourself, where you're shifting that unconscious reaction before you start to implement strategy or take action. So we're doing all of this deep inner work before actually moving forward into strategy, into taking action towards inviting more into your life. Because if you're inviting more into your life from a place of resistance or a place of fear, it won't show up. And so we have to really start to do the deep inner work first, and then the outer work, the strategy comes so naturally. It comes so easily because we're aligned. The inner and the outer are aligned. So if you've been feeling like your income or your opportunities or your creative flow have kind of plateaued, then really this challenge and these practices will help you so much align your energy before you jump into action, because it's energy first and then strategy. So last but not least, I want to share with you that generosity is the gateway to overflow. And this might sound really counterintuitive, especially during a season where everyone's telling you to maybe save or conserve or asking for your money and you feel pulled in all kinds of different directions because you feel like everyone's asking you to buy and you're feeling like I only want to buy what's necessary. Everyone wants something from me. And so there's like kind of this tug of war going on, right? Where there's sort of a pull to purchase things, but also a pull to save because of what's coming up in the future, right? And so this principle of generosity isn't about just like spending recklessly. It's not just buying things because people are asking you to. It's not like falling into the trap of these shoes are on sale for $20 and I should get them because they're on sale and I don't need a new pair of shoes, right? We've all fallen into that trap, I think, before. Or buying, that thing off the Instagram ad because it looks really interesting and cool, like that thing that the pets, give your pets the ability to talk. They like hit a button and it says, I want water, I want food. And you're like, you don't really need that, but we get sold to all the time. And so generosity isn't about just, spending recklessly, but it's about trusting yourself, trusting that there will be more when you need it, and trusting the decisions that you're making. And so this, again, comes from shifting your inner alignment, right? When we give from a sense of overflow, from a sense of this feels really aligned, this is aligned with my values, this is doing the deep work that I want to do for myself, this is changing who I am in the world, not just adding something on, but really doing that work for ourselves, or this is helping me learn or grow in some way so that I can be more self-actualized, so that I can be more fully expressed, so that I'm more aligned with my values or more moving in the direction of who I want to be in the world. When we anchor into that vibration and purchase from that place, or give or donate from that place, from a place of feeling we are enough and that we have more than enough and more is coming, then we're giving not out of obligation, not out of feeling like frivolous, but we are anchoring ourselves in to what truly matters within ourselves and giving or purchasing from a place of knowing that we're already whole, that we already have enough, that we are enough, and there's nothing outside of us that will complete us, right? There's nothing outside of us that we could buy or purchase that would make us more than what we already are. And so I remember when I invested in my first coaching certification program, it felt very scary. It felt almost irresponsible and even indulgent because I had never invested that much money in any kind of program or education that wasn't like going to Mysore and practicing yoga for 3 months, that I'd never invested in an online program or course that way. It wasn't a university course, and it felt like a big risk. It felt like jumping, like taking a big leap. Will this really help me? Do I really need this? Even like, what am I doing? Like, why am I just spending this money online for an online course? Even though it was a 6-month to a year program, it just felt scary because I'd never done it before. And it felt selfish too. I was like, I could be spending this money on my house, on my mortgage. I could be spending this money on my child. I could be spending this money on savings or investing or on a new car. But something in me really just like was pulling me and saying, this is in alignment with who you are becoming. This is in alignment with who you want to be. This is going to change your future. And that investment changed everything for me. That was the first step of many along my path that didn't just change things financially for me, but totally altered who I am in the world, altered how I understand spirituality. It taught me that money spent when it's aligned with my values, with who I am and who I want to be in the world, it multiplies and it creates more abundance and more overflow, because the more I'm tuned in to my worth and my values, the more everything starts to line up and move me in that direction. And this is true in every area of life, whether it's your business, your relationship, your yoga practice, that when you invest energy, and remember, money is just energy, right? When you invest energy, whether it's your physical energy, whether it's your money, whether it's your mental, emotional energy, your consciousness, whatever you're investing into, it starts to return your investment, and it grows and it amplifies. Here's one last exercise for you today. Just pausing, take a moment and ask yourself, where can I be generous today? And that doesn't just mean with money, and it can also mean, where can I be generous with my time, with my energy, with my kindness, with my listening, with my presence? How can you really show up in a way that feels generous and abundant for others in your life, in a way that feels very nourishing for yourself and not depleting, so that you're giving from a place that feels full, and in the giving, you're not feeling depleted? Because true generosity isn't about giving away or giving out. It's actually about giving through. You become a channel for this energy. You become a channel for this abundance to flow and move through you. And that's what alignment really is about. That's what alignment really needs, is how you are channeling this energy, how you are channeling this prosperity in your life, in every aspect of your life. So if you've found this to be fascinating and interesting, you want more, the Money, Magic, and Manifestation Challenge is filled with all kinds of beautiful micro practices like this one that help you to shift your focus and help you to expand your capacity to channel and circulate more of this energy in your life with more trust and more groundedness. So, as we move into this holiday season and into this crazy time of abundance and prosperity and sales and purchasing gifts for the Christmas season and all of the things that we're doing at this time of year, Thanksgiving and all of the things, I just want to remind you that abundance isn't something that you need to earn, and it's not something that is in the future. It's something that you can embody right here and right now. And the more that you are able to embody gratitude, grace, and generosity, the more magnetic you will become to every form of wealth. This is wealth in the sense of health, wealth in the sense of money, in love, opportunities, joy, people in your life, relationships. It's a beautiful thing. So if you're ready to step into this energy and end the year feeling free and inspired and fully resourced, then I really, really encourage you to join me in this 21-day Money, Magic, and Manifestation Challenge. It's normally $108, but for the next 3 days, you can get it for $48 with the promo code that I mentioned at the start of this episode, Money Magic 60. You can find all of this information in the show notes, and it is such a transformative program. I am so proud of it. I love it, and everyone who has gone through this program with me just has had so many breakthroughs in their lives. It's been incredible. You're going to get the Telegram channel with the daily audios and practical tools to really clear up those subconscious money blocks and embody more abundance from the inside out. So remember, as you're going forward, as we end today's episode, that money expands when gratitude flows, that the more grace you're bringing to yourself and into your own journey, the more your life will mirror this generosity back to you. I'm wishing you a beautiful, abundant, heart-filled season of love and expansion and gratitude and generosity and also some money sprinkled in there as we move forward and finish off this year strong and move into 2026 feeling fully empowered and alive. May you give freely, may you receive fully, and may you remember that you are magic. I love you. I cannot wait to connect with you somewhere along the way, maybe in person in Tenerife, maybe in my challenge, my 21-day challenge, maybe in one of my other programs coming up in the new year. Reach out. Please say hello to me on Instagram, Harmony Slater Official. And I just wish you a very, very happy Thanksgiving, happy Black Friday, happy day, happy week, happy life. That's it. We've concluded another episode of the Finding Harmony podcast. I just want to thank you so much for doing the work that changes the world, starting with yourself. It truly does make a huge difference. Please make sure you have your automatic downloads turned on wherever you listen so you don't miss any of the upcoming episodes. I have so much more magic I can't wait to share with you. Lastly, if you're on Instagram, I love connecting and hearing from you. So come on over and say hello at Finding Harmony Podcast. And you can also come say hello to me personally at Harmony Slater Official. Thank you again for being here. I cannot wait to share more with you in our next episode.